Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talks with Tina. We are pursuing our most true and authentic self by what? Uncovering our roots. Guys, we know the drill. It's been forever since I've seen you. It's been such a long time. We know these things, right? Oh, y'all, peep. Peep. There's signage. Thanks to my good friends who bought this for me, Comfort and Ashley. Thanks, guys. We gotta talk to Tina sign. It's amazing. Anywho, in the spirit of getting straight to the point, I really just want to get this video done. I had another portion of this recorded a long time ago, and I never put it out, one because it stopped recording midway through, but I think it was just like a fresh topic that I hadn't really walked through, right? And I mean, I guess I did essentially. I walked through the topic and I've been experiencing it, obviously. But I think for it to be complete transparency, like I had to really sit with it, because as I was recording the video, I was like, ooh, ouch, oh, ouch. Like I was hitting some pain points that really sting. So again, in the spirit of getting straight to the point, today's topic is, what did pain do to you? And who? Again, as I've been sitting with this topic, I have kind of unboxed a lot of you. Y'all talking about uncovering your roots. I went to a conference about a week ago, and one of the speakers, she kind of just highlighted something, and she was talking about the little girl in us. And I always have this motto that the little girl has to grow up. But she was saying, like, the little girl inside of us, as we're trying to cater to this inner child, like sometimes this inner child can ruin and run our lives, is that we spend so much time dedicated to understanding this little child that we have now lost sight of our adult self. And so the little kid is essentially running us, because we're like, what did my inner child need? And by all means, figure out what that little kid needs, what that little person needs inside of you. Cater to it, understand it. But at some point, the little kid has to grow up, like just like you did. You were once a little kid, but now you've grown up. I think the little version of you now has to meet the adult version of you, and there has to be some middle ground in order for you to become the best version of yourself. So I say all that to say is, as I've been uncovering more of what the little Shantina needed, I've also been experiencing what the adult version of me is dealing with. And so what did pain do to me? Oh, y'all, we getting deep real fast. I would say now in my adult time, pain has tried to make me go silent. And I think if I were to go back into the deep depths of what the little girl in me was desiring, what she felt, it would be whenever pain was introduced, I would often mask it with jokes and pushing forward and going above and beyond. And so these are the things that showed up in my adult life, which is perfectionism. Then we have overachieving, we have people pleasing, we have all these things, because when pain was present, it wasn't, I kind of just bypassed it. Like, it wasn't that my pain was ignored, because let me tell you, my parents are really different. My support system is real different. Like, my mom is very, very nurturing. And so even to the point of my pain, it was always addressed. But I think for me, I didn't want to have another barrier of pressure or another burden to put on to my mom, that I tried to always be the light. And so even for me expressing this now, I'm sure she'll watch this and be like, oh my gosh, I never knew that. Like, that's just her nature. But I think for me, because there was always so many elements of life that was happening, not just to us, but around us, that for me as a little kid, now that I can truly identify the root, I think just making sure that everyone was happy is the role that I assume. And so as an adult, that's all I ascribe to, is everyone happy? Is everyone happy? Is everyone happy? Even if I'm sinking. So pain to me has allowed me to shrink back to the little version of myself, but it has kept out people. I said this in the last video. My pain has silenced me in a way that it has kept out people who were meant to render aid. And so I have a hard time letting people in, because I feel like I can't trust you with my pain, because if everyone's not, like, I feel like if you're too concerned about me, then there's something off, right? And so that's because I have a basis of putting people first. I want to make sure everybody is happy. So as I've been uncovering my roots and becoming my most true and authentic self, I've unboxed this level in this kind of version of me now that is like, wow, like that's unhealthy. Like, that is really unhealthy, Shantina. You have to, like, people are meant to come into your life to help you and assist you and love you in the areas where pain may have been present. And so you can't block people out. You're not responsible for everybody's emotions. You're not responsible for everybody to be happy. You're not like, and once I've learned to take that burden off, I had to sit with it, because it was like taking like a layer off of me to say, you don't have to make everybody happy. You don't have to be liked by everybody. Like, that's even something I've been facing too. It's just like, not per se, no, not being liked by everybody. I've struggled with that, especially in my walk with the Lord, is that I've learned that people will connect with you simply just because of who you are, the gifts that you carry, or the light that they see in you. And then I've learned that people will not like you simply because of those very reasons. And because, again, I want people to be happy. I want everybody to like me. I have had a very bad people pleasing tendency that the Lord was really dealing with me with. Is I had to learn that you're not going to be liked by everybody. And if that is your desire, you're gonna be held back every time. And I don't, like, for those of you who've been following for a while, the very first thing that the Lord had kind of just dealt with was validation and my need to feel validated, like if I'm doing the right things, so on and so forth. And that was like the beginning stages. And so when I started getting comfortable, that started to creep back in. And then what it did was present itself as a level of fear. You know, it started to present itself as fear. Well, what if this isn't accepted well? Or what if these people didn't like this? Then I start to hear things. You know, I had people who were close to me consult everybody else about what they felt about a certain situation of something that I was involved in, but would never come to me. And so those things would have you, it would trigger those things. And you know, I don't like to use that term so loosely, but it would trigger those portions of you that you thought you dealt with. And so now I'm at a point where I have a different response to that. But as I'm growing and continuously evolving to a better version of myself, I did notice that pain had tried to creep back in and set me back. And so what I had to do was learn to cry out. I had to learn to use my voice, because I feel like pain will try to silence you and nullify your voice in a way that you don't feel heard, you don't feel seen, you don't feel acknowledged. But you also have to understand that that's okay. and there are people who see you, there are people who acknowledge you. But if you're looking for it in an external kind of viewpoint and from people who have already disappointed you, you'll be disappointed over and over again. And as I'm learning and growing, like, y'all, it's been such a beautiful thing in these, I would really say, the last few months, but most recently the last few weeks, as I'm kind of opening this Pandora's box of different things, is that I'm growing through this. And it's not something that I'm putting on a facade of just like, well, you know, I'm growing this, yeah, I'm becoming my most true authentic self. I'm identifying the root. Okay, where did this start? How did this come about? And what are you doing with it? So pain has allowed me to pinpoint where my ouches are. And then when I say ouch, I don't just ignore the ouch and like, okay, I gave this other analogy. It's like pain will make you do two things. You can either cry out or you can be quiet. Stay silent. And so the Lord had showed me one day, it was like if you stub your toe or you hit your arm or whatever, you know, if you hit your funny bone, you know how some people go like, ouch. I noticed that I react to pain by being quiet. And that was the catalyst for this whole ordeal. If I'm in any kind of pain, I'd be like, I don't make like an audible noise that would be known to anybody. I just say, and I deal with it. Or I'll just say to somebody afterwards, I really hurt my elbow, but I don't make a scene. And so that was an eye-opener for me as to what will pain make you do. And I believe that pain, people respond to pain, or even the Bible tells us that God responds to the cries of his children. And so if you're not expressing that you're in any kind of pain, or that your mind, your body, soul, spirit is in any kind of discomfort, or whatever the case may be, experiencing pain, who will know? And so as we become our most true and authentic self, as we are uncovering our roots, who will know? Like, things do not, like, we don't understand root systems. It's the same way. We do not understand what's happening to the trees or the plants or whatever until we dig deep into that root system to see what it is. Until it is uncovered, no one will know, right? And so I think the beauty in this, and how do we full circle this and make it make sense to your life? The beauty in this is understanding that crying out in the midst of your pain, it's not weak. It's not it's a little intimidating. It's a little scary, because I think we rest so hard in the fact of who is going to come to our aid, who is going to render and rescue you from your pain. And I really want to tell you the end all be all. It's God. Like, God is going to be the one who will mend the broken pieces of your heart. God is going to be the one to restore you when it's all said and done. Yes, he will send people, but people are not your final say, you know? And so I think when you really rest in the fact that you trust and lean and depend on God, and he will heal your pain, then you kind of have, like, I don't know, you kind of go through the motions knowing that this isn't it. And so as I've been going through the motions, I'm like, I know this isn't it. Dealing with friendships, dealing with new levels of my life, y'all, it has been crazy. And so I realized that, oh, thank you, Holy Ghost. Okay, before I end this, it's like, you know, when you deal with pain, and this is what happened, pain invokes fear, right? And so if we experience a level of pain, I know that if I get burned, I'm going to be a little more fearful and more timid around fire. I'm not gonna go to my flat iron and be like, let me do this. I'm gonna be like, if I drop it, let me move out the way real quick, right? And so as I'm experiencing new levels, I've understood that pain has invoked a level of fear, a level of fear in me that has tried to hold me back. And so what I've come to do today is tell y'all, a girl is on fire. We back and we better. Because even in this, I understand that the Lord has entrusted me with Talks with Tina, and it's different, y'all. Like, it is, I think we are definitely seeing new things. We are in year 4. God is doing amazing things with it, but as it was expanding, as it was growing, it's hard for me to admit these things, because it's just like, why would you? But as being transparent and authentic, I scaled back. Like, these pauses are not because, oh, I just feel like I don't have any topics. No, these topics are because things become more intimate, you know, and people see more things. And it's like, this is what this is what I signed up for, basically. But I want everyone to see that it's not all cakes and butterflies and all this other stuff. Like, sometimes it's hard, and when you have to deal with the ugly side of you, that when you have to deal with the side of you that is still trying to come out to be better, you don't want to put that in the forefront sometimes. And I was in real time, like live action, in the first few years of Talks with Tina. I get a topic, I'm dealing with something, bow, right in your face. Now I'm at the place where I deal with it. I work through it, but it don't take 10 years to work through it either. But I deal with it, I work with it, and I come with more wisdom in it, instead of just like, well, this is the fight that I'm dealing with, and let's go rock and roll. This is the fight. This is how I conquered, and this is how I'm victorious in this. And I pray that you will be the same way through any circumstance or situation that you're in. So how do we full circle and make it make sense to your life? Pain will do some crazy things to you, to make you fearful. It'll make you hide. It'll make you shut your mouth. It'll make you do all these things. But the purpose of becoming your most true and authentic self and uncovering your roots is to expose the places that might be faulty, that might cause some hindrances, and really get to the nitty gritty of it. Pain will make you do some crazy things, but when you identify what it is, how it got there, why is it so painful, and you attack it head on, I believe that you will see the best version of yourself begin to blossom, because you understand that pain could not make you stop, you know, and you live life. It doesn't mean that you'll never experience pain, but it does mean you know how to maneuver through it. And so that's the chat. I love y'all. Bye.